Giving Back, sponsored by Patterson Legal Group.
Of giving back, where local nonprofits are recognized for the great work they're doing to make our communities better places to live. Patterson Legal Group recognizes a new nonprofit and presents them with a $500 check. This week, we're proud to spotlight Flint Hill's Breadbasket. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Tyler Patterson from Patterson Legal Group. This week's Giving Back recipient is Flint Hill's Breadbasket. We're here with Carla. Carla, tell us a little bit about the group.
Sure. The Flint Hills Breadbasket is a nonprofit food program in Manhattan, Kansas, serving people who are experiencing food insecurity.
Well, for all your incredible work, we're excited to give you a check today for $500.
Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Of course.
And joining us now is Carla with Flint Hill's Breadbasket. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
I'm happy to be here.
So to start off, for our audience that are maybe unfamiliar with the Flint Hill's Breadbasket, just tell us what you guys are all about, what you guys' mission is.
So the Flint Hills Breadbasket is a nonprofit food program in Manhattan, just down the road. We have been around since 1983, so we're hitting over 40 years of existence.
That's wonderful.
It's great. It's wonderful to be a foundational organization in our community. And our area of focus is food insecurity.
Okay.
So our mission is to provide access to reliable access to healthy foods, to build bridges between community members, and to empower our neighbors to meet their basic needs.
Oh, that's great. I just love the community support that you guys can offer out there in Manhattan. So tell us what kind of services are you providing to and help these people out?
Absolutely. So we're part of the Harvesters Network. So if people are familiar with Harvesters, we partner with them. They give us support. And from that, we harness the energy within our local community. So we collect food through food drives, our grocery store donations, all the different sources, Harvesters. We operate a on-site location called The Market, which is a full choice food market for guests to come in and pick foods. And then we also, because of that longtime support and foundation setting in our community, we are able to support 7 different food pantries in Manhattan and our community as a whole. So we're able to kind of be that central location or a hub that then lets us move food out into different parts of the community so that people have access.
I love it. I love the network you structured now. Yeah, 40 years. You guys know what you're doing at this point.
I hope so. Yes. But it's always changing.
Yeah, that's very true. And you guys are keeping up with it. That's great. I want to ask about the market a little bit. Kind of, how does that work now? Can people just show up and collect food, or what's the process look like?
So we're open 5 days a week for certain hours each day. And we ask that our guests come once a week. So you're going, just like you would to the grocery store, you're going for your weekly shopping. We ask that guests take what their family will need for that week. And we really want to work off of that choice model where people are choosing the foods that their family wants versus me choosing what somebody else's kids are going to eat.
Yeah,
if you have kids,
smart, yes.
You know
you know more about what they're going to eat than I do.
and same with the diverse population that we have. There's so many different people represented in our community who have different dietary needs, religious backgrounds, that's going to have an impact on what foods are most familiar to them. And so we're really focusing on trying to have a diverse baseline of different foods that people can prepare in different ways. So we've really focused in the last few years on whole foods and healthy fresh foods that then anybody from any different culture could take, season, prepare, and cook it according to their family's desires.
And that's very smart. Yeah, get the base, let them add the flourish.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Yes.
And so how does the donation from Patterson Legal Group kind of able to help you guys out with this mission of yours?
Absolutely. Donations from organizations like the Patterson Group really help us streamline into the items that we might not get through regular donations, through our normal donation stream. Again, when I talked about having access to fresh foods, certain times of the year, like think of the winter months, we don't necessarily have as much fresh foods coming through our grocery stores or our local gardeners. And so it might help us supplement what are some of the fresh items that we're not seeing through donations. We also provide milk and eggs to our guests that we purchase. So as you know, as lot of friends in our community know price of eggs went up a lot in the last year. They've come back down, fortunately. But we're in the same position as everybody else. When we're looking for different foods, we react in the same way. We have those same increases. And so when I look at that, when donations like this from Patterson Legal Group comes in, it's a way for us to say, okay, where do we need to fill a gap? And how can we use those funds to just help accentuate the things that we're offering.
That's great. Yeah, stretching every dollar. That's what
Absolutely.
we're all doing nowadays.
We are. and having access to that flexible spending is really important for us. And again, with partners like Harvesters, we're able to purchase items at greater volume and reduced cost.
Great.
So those dollars really can stretch very far with the partnerships we have.
Wonderful. So what's also the best way for people to reach out to you now? Like maybe they want to learn more, or they want to help out, they want to donate, they want to get a garden going to help you guys going.
Our Facebook page is really active. We post a lot of information on that, which is just Flint Hills Breadbasket. Our website is flinthillsbreadbasket.org, and our phone number is 537-0730.
Well, your role, what's it mean to be a part of this organization?
I would say it's a treasure every day. Every day is different. I've been there for 2 years, but in the Manhattan community for more than 30 at this point. So there's just not a day that's the same, but every day as soon as I get to work, I have the opportunity to impact somebody's life. We have the opportunity to make people feel welcome, to make people feel like they're part of our community, that they're valued, and that somebody is looking for their needs, and really taking some of that stress off of their day.
Yes, less stress, anything like that. It's so beneficial to have an organization like you guys to be able to help that out and be able to take a little bit of burden off of somebody's life.
Yes.
And to that extent, is there like a story or experience that maybe comes to mind about like the reach that Flint Hills Breadbasket has had on the community?
I think the thing that we really focus on is that it could be anybody, that some of our guests need our support for the long term. Recently we had a guest come in who I just knew him from coming through, and just another person, always going to be friendly to people, but it didn't hit me how deeply we impacted him until he stopped and said, hey, I just want you to know I've started work, but my paycheck doesn't come in just yet, but as soon as it does, I won't be here anymore. And it was really great for me to be able to say, I want you to be here as long as you need to be. And for him to share some more, talk about, I had been laid off from my job, took me a little while to find a new one, and it's been me and my girls. We didn't come until we absolutely had no choice. And for me to be able to look at him and say, our community wants you to be here as soon as you need us. For most people, when they're looking at their finances being limited, one of the first things for them to adjust or to cut is their food budget. That's easier to cut than your rent. You can't have your car repossessed. You don't want your electricity turned off. So food budgets are one of the first things that people will cut when they're experiencing financial hardships. And so we really want to make sure that people are being fed. We know that meeting those basic needs is so important to executive functioning. You're not going to perform your best at school. You're not going to perform your best at work when you're worried about what are we going to eat tonight, or if your kids are hungry. And so taking that burden off of somebody so that they can focus and have their dollars available for the things that they need is really important to us.
So now, how can other people help you guys out now? Like between volunteers or donations? I know you mentioned hygiene products. We've focused so much on food and the market, but hygiene products is also something that is so needed. Sometimes we don't even think about.
Right. So we added hygiene products in January of 2023. So we're just over a year of offering those now. So when you're at the store and you're thinking about what sorts of things would somebody need, SNAP dollars don't purchase hygiene items. Many people don't realize that. They think that, oh, food stamps will pay for soap. It would pay for anything I can get at the grocery store.
Yes, you would hope so.
And that's not the case. And so things like laundry detergent, deodorant, soap, shampoo, conditioner, toilet paper, those basic hygiene items oftentimes have a higher price point to them and are out of reach. And again, when you're thinking about, am I going to school, or my kids going to school, am I going to work, and in what condition am I going to work, and what is my sense of self-worth at this point. Having access to those basic hygiene items is really important. So we've really opened the doors to people to have those conversations and think about just those dignity items of making sure people have access to that as well. But our service is really broad in what we offer, and it also means bringing in a ton of different types of volunteers.
Yeah, so a little bit into that, like, yeah, what are you looking for then?
Sure. We use volunteers for all sorts of stuff. We have a relatively small staff, but we're serving more than 60, 65 families a day, which means we're making a lot of contacts. We've got volunteers who we call front of house volunteers, who are doing that interaction with our guests, helping them find what they need, just helping keep things moving up in the front, restocking shelves. We have people in the back of the house, which are sorting foods that come in through donations, kind of making sure things are ready. Behind the scenes, we have drivers that go out every day to our grocery stores that support us and pick up those donations, bring them back, and then all sorts of stuff in between. We have a warehouse, which means that we operate things like forklifts and pallet jacks and all sorts of stuff like that. We do support those other churches. We fill orders for them, so it means people with warehouse experience who know how to make their way around a warehouse and build a pallet for somebody that we can then deliver to the church later on in the week. So it's really neat because if you're a people person and you want to be up front, we have opportunities for you. If you like to be behind the scenes, we have things for you.
There we go.
And if you're working from home, believe it or not, there are ways for us to really harness the capacity of people, even from home, who might not be able to physically come in or need to work on an alternate schedule. There's new ways that we're capturing the ability for people to do even volunteer from their homes.
That's great. Yeah, plenty of opportunities to help you guys
Absolutely.
out. Yes. So if somebody does want to help you guys out now, what's the best way to reach out to you guys, like to drop off donations or to volunteer for one of those roles?
Donations we love to get at our physical address, 905 Yuma in Manhattan. We have collection barrels at both Dillon Stores and Hy-Vee in Manhattan. And then contacting us online, it's just flinthillsbreadbasket.org. We have a tab there to volunteer. We have a tab that tells our guests or our donors what things are we needing and opportunities to donate online and all that great stuff.
Wonderful, as easy as that.
Very easy.
All right, well, Carla, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and thank you for all the work you're doing out in the community.
Thank you.
It's helping out a lot in Manhattan.
It's a great time.
And of course, everybody, if you want to learn more, you can head on over to FlintHillsBreadbasket.org.
Giving Back, sponsored by Patterson Legal Group.